Hey there everyone, this is Zare.
And this is Lit.
And this is Danganronpa 2. Last time, we didn't die!
Yay! We had lots of fireworks, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What happened? Stop them.
So yeah, they're gonna go beat up the most annoying guy ever.
Why are we beating up Soda?
Oh. No. They're beating up. Never mind.
Jackie, I can't believe you actually swiped your card. I mean, it's great that they didn't blow up, but shouldn't you have been more cautious? Hey there, Hawk, welcome to the stream.
Well,
But isn't it better than letting them explode?
Well, that's true. But at least we know for sure that Chiaki isn't the traitor. Unless she swiped someone else's book. If she was the traitor, she wouldn't have attempted that in the first place.
I think...
More importantly, we should hurry and catch up with the others, I think.
Yeah, you're right. If we leave them alone, they might actually kill Nagito. Oh, that was easy.
Huh?
I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna beat the crap out of him! Hey, I totally know how you feel, but calm down.
Wait!
Shut up!
Huh? Everyone's feet came to a grinding halt. Their red, angry faces instantly transformed into a look of caution. Akane? What is it?
Can you hear something? It's coming from the other side of the door.
The other side of this door. As I listen carefully, I could make out a soft sound coming from inside the warehouse. Music? What's he planning? Is this another one of Nagito's traps?
Huh?
Maybe the moment we open the door, a real bomb is gonna go kaboom!
Now then.
Alright, let's open it and find out.
But earth-shattering kaboom!
I can take it!
Huh?
Please do not... Akane, it's dangerous!
Yo!
It's fine. I'll open it slowly.
No, that's not the problem.
Leave it to me!
Seriously, it'll be fine!
Those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse.
Huh?
It's not opening.
Oh, thank God.
Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. That's
Hey,
an interesting
hey.
sound if she can barely open it.
I knew it! It's a trap! Seriously, just stop it, okay?
You!
Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force.
What?
What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protests, and with a mighty kick,
We're gonna die.
the door flew open. It's gonna blow up! Instinctively, we tensed our bodies and braced ourselves. But
Huh? What's this?
what happened?
Yo!
Look inside.
It sure is dark.
Looks like there aren't any lights on. Is Nagito really in here?
The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymnal blared throughout the warehouse at full volume.
Hey, do you guys hear something?
Yeah, it's really damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap?
No, I'm not talking about the music.
And as if on cue, it suddenly started.
Hey, it's on fire!
A fearsome blaze suddenly began dancing inside the dark warehouse, like fiery wings spreading before us.
Whoa! What's going on?
For now, we must extinguish these flames. Let us hurry and put them out.
Can you?
Hey!
Someone is ignoring a rule. I was thinking it probably was not the same it that Akane enjoyed. But how are we supposed to put this fire out?
That is a very good point. There should be a fire extinguishing supplies inside the factory break room. Perhaps we should use those?
Damn it.
Got it! Let's head to the break room.
That was a lot of fire, though, to put out with just an extinguisher.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I'm sorry, Sonia. That's dumb.
Hey James, welcome to the stream. At the same time, you could possibly save the first floor if you just coat it with fire retardant.
I know, but it's already spread to the second floor, clearly.
True, it may not be destruction of property without permission. After listening to Sonia, we ran into the factory.
Huh? What's going on? First a bomb and now a fire?
This is bad.
Yeah, if we don't hurry, the fire's gonna spread to the factory!
Damn it!
Now's not the time to bullshit around!
Why are you bullshitting around then?
Do the rules say whose permission, or can Hajime just tell Akane she's allowed to break things and then it's all good? I don't think it explicitly says so, but I think Monokuma might be willing to allow that being an implication.
Well,
The break room is just beyond this door. There should be fire extinguishing supplies there. There's a lot of flammable stuff inside that warehouse, so we better put out that fire soon.
Break room is here, right? This is very claustrophobic.
Ooh.
Where are the fire extinguishing supplies? In the recycling.
Under there? Can you, like, look around the
I
room?
don't seem to be able to click on anything.
Not even the little triangles?
Well, I can change that.
Yeah, there you go.
We're in the fridge. Oh,
Ah!
this is a very weird angle, but despite that, I'm not sure you could reach these normally.
Some kind of liquid inside?
Huge supply of lined up plastic bottles. Looks like there's some kind of liquid inside them.
everyone!
You found it! Those are fire grenades?
I
Sorry.
think I've heard of these.
Those are fire grenades!
Fire grenades?
They're basic fire extinguishing goods. When you throw them at a fire, the container breaks and the chemical inside puts out the fire.
It is strange, no?
But this is strange. The last time I peeked inside this place, I recall seeing the fire extinguishing supplies too.
Hey!
There should be plenty! Let's hurry up and go back to the warehouse!
Grabbed all the fire grenades and rushed back to the warehouse.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Then we dicked around outside.
Make sure you don't get too close to the fire. It's dangerous.
Then
There's only one entrance point, though. Take care not to inhale the smoke as well. We should throw the... Oh, there it is. Okay. We should throw the grenades from the door at the same time.
Looks like the curtain in the back is burning up. Just have to aim for that, right?
I'm gonna do it!
Aim for the curtain in the back and threw all the fire grenades one after the other. But
Hey, is it just me? Or does it feel like the fire's not going out at all?
the curtain absorbed the impact of the thrown grenades. It fell on the floor and shattered. They were completely ineffective at extinguishing the burning curtain.
Does it not seem like the fire is intensifying?
They are actual fire grenades.
Yeah.
If the fire continues to rise, it will inflame the ceiling.
You might want to leave.
This is bad. We've already used up all the fire grenades.
Which is why we went inside.
I know.
What are we gonna do? All we can do now is pray for rain.
I'm not gonna do anything.
No.
Don't be stupid! There's no way it'll conveniently start raining if we pray for it.
What?
It's raining?
Well, that's a sprinkler system.
So this is the power of the Japanese Terra
Wow.
That's not it. It looks like the sprinkler's activated.
Oh, the sprinklers. They must have detected the smoke and turned on.
Guess that's one way the fire grenades help put out a fire. Water continued to vigorously pour out of the sprinklers. After a while, fire in the warehouse was completely exhausted. Looks like the fire is out.
This is a relief.
Damn it!
The hell?
Man, my merch is drenched! It got splattered with water and now it's soaked. It's so wet.
Hey.
Is it okay to look inside now? You're already
Just a
inside.
minute.
Huh? Time out! You can't! No way!
Why can't we go inside?
Hey,
Smoke and hazardous gas are still spread throughout the warehouse, so it's gotta ventilate for a while.
Well, yeah.
Well, I guess you're right. It'd be a problem if we breathed in any lingering smoke.
so...
So, for the sake of your health, please wait for just a little while. While you're waiting, why don't you check out the Monokuma Theater I've freshly prepared?
You're so stupid.
Everything is a lie. Monokuma doesn't exist. The Monokuma Theater doesn't exist. Everything is fiction. There's no meaning whatsoever. There's no relationship whatsoever. Everything was made. Monokuma can't be found anywhere. What are you doing here anyway?
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Yes! Now that the Monokuma Theater is over, I'm sure it's finished ventilating by now.
Phew.
Also, I'm finally starting to feel better. Just because my important merch was ruined doesn't mean I should be depressed about it forever. Whenever I feel depressed, I always ask myself this question.
But hold on.
Why are your eyes on the front?
I got it.
So we can move forward. Don't be sad about what's already happened and be positive.
We get it already.
Jeez. Enough with your bullshit.
I'll leave the rest to you.
I turned on the light for you guys too. You might hurt yourself if it's dark.
Here.
Now, go ahead. Go right ahead. Ahead!
Perhaps.
Is Nagito inside?
He said he was in his video message, but he probably escaped by now.
There is so much fire and smoke.
Snoke.
Smoke. And I thought I'd finally get to beat the crap out of him this time.
Hey.
Well, why don't we go inside and see how it's doing?
You...
Hajime, what happened?
Well, nothing happened, but I don't know why. My heart is racing. It won't settle down. scared. As if an intense malice is about to stab me. Stab me through my whole body. I can't even budge. Feels like everything is too late. Why do I feel this anxious?
What does the Supreme Ruler have to do with it about it? Everything! This is the true origin of Emperor Snoke.
Well...
Jimmy, you go first. Need to tie my shoes.
Right.
Your heart is racing because you just put out a fire which could otherwise have spread to a military base. Oh, sure, it's fine. Also, isn't the military base this way? Not that it couldn't spread, it's just got a few buildings to go through first.
Anyway,
Well, we should go inside for now. We need to find out what caused the fire.
Well,
Nagito said he'd be waiting for us in the warehouse.
Now he's probably escaped.
But there's only one entrance to this warehouse, you know? Did you see him leaving?
No, I didn't. He might have escaped while we left to get the fire grenades. In fact, he might have been gone before the fire even happened.
That might be true, but
Chiaki, does she feel the same anxiety that I'm feeling?
Damn it.
Nagito probably started it anyway.
You pissed me off.
Next time I see him, I'll beat the crap out of him.
You know, I was thinking the same thing until you vocalized it, so now I'm pretty sure it's not.
it is strange, no?
I do not believe there was anything inside the warehouse that could start a fire. So why did the warehouse catch fire?
Well, it happened when you open the door. There are compounds that will ignite once they're oxygenated.
Possibly.
So, it would seem weird that the factory became a vacuum. Granted, if this is the only entrance, maybe they did that.
It's clear though that we're being set up. So let's find out what we're being set up for.
Anyway, let's go inside.
Ooh, dramatic music.
Charred odor permeated through the warehouse. The air was so heavy that it was hard to breathe.
Whatever's playing the music certainly didn't get burned.
So this is the hymnal music that we couldn't hear initially.
Yeah.
The moment I set foot inside the warehouse, a mixture of bewilderment, anxiety, and fear overtook me at once.
It smells...
Hey,
It's not me!
I am sorry.
I am terribly sorry.
you serious?
Miss Sonia!
I kind of let a little one slip. You know, the silent but deadly kind. Please step away.
Say it ain't so!
My Dahlia does not poop!
No, it's not that. It's like a smell I've never smelled before.
like...
Well, it makes sense that there are strange smells when a bunch of different things were burned.
Hey.
Hey everyone, did you know about that curtain?
You mean the curtain that was on fire, right? What do you mean no?
See?
I didn't notice it until the curtain was burning, but there's a space on the other side of it too.
When I looked where Chiaki was pointing, there was still space beyond the burned, tattered curtain. So some of these got burnt up and the others just became monochrome.
It smells...
I definitely smell something. What is this smell?
Oh my.
That smell was Miss Sonia? Seriously? I guess princesses, do that too. My mind is blown.
What are you, a child?
For sure.
I see. So there was a space beyond the curtain. I had no idea.
What a mess. Well, I don't feel that sorry about it, since the only thing that got burned were Monokuma merch. I walked toward the burned, tattered curtain with slow, methodical steps. Never experienced such an oppressive atmosphere before. I couldn't help holding my breath.
The music isn't helping.
Then, on the other side of the curtain, I saw the true source of the intense malice that I had been feeling.
It?
That was a lot sooner than I anticipated.
Whoa! Whoa!
I had no idea what I was looking at. By the time I realized I was looking at the remains of Nagito Komaeda, the ultimate lucky student, time had already stopped.
How is that even possible? Like, weren't we all together now?
There were a number of times in which we were separated. Eventually, the shock finally registered with me. A numb feeling spread from the center of my brain almost instantly.
Wow!
Nagito is dead. Even when I saw this before me, I wasn't able to comprehend that reality yet.
Huh? What?
What?
What's going on here?
Are you serious?
Is he really dead? He's not pretending to be dead, is he?
Well, it looks pretty real to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's Nagito, you know?
That's right. It's Nagito. He always messed with us. He always tried to confuse us. That's why I can't believe it.
Not to mention, he's always the one who says he wants to be killed by someone.
Nagito ended up in such a cruel state. Nagito is dead. Deep down, I believe, when the killings finally ended, I'd never see this guy again. I never expected I'd be looking at Nagito's body like this. Nagito probably thought the same thing. Couldn't help seeing it in his dead, frightened face. But on this island, unbelievably abnormal occurrences happen all the time. Even Nagito couldn't escape that truth. Even something as small as that. Getting worried.
What's with his coat? I mean, I knew it was tattered before, but it didn't look like that.
It did
Weird.
look like that.
Huh?
Had very bit-like design.
No, it didn't have a bit design. It was just ripped looking.
A body has been discovered! Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin!
Wow.
Don't tell me.
Body discovery announcement? And it's for real.
Hey!
Then Nagito is really dead?
Damn it.
It's not just that he's dead. The body discovery announcement was made. Does that mean Nagito was killed? Killed?
That's right.
Plus, it's one of us! I mean, that's what it means, right? One of us killed Nagito? One of us killed him so brutally?
Then it's going to start again? The class trial is going to start soon, right? Then
Of course!
Yep, we gotta do it. We gotta find out who Nagito's killer is.
Hey! Hey!
No matter who you guys sacrifice, you're determined to survive and leave this island, right?
Shing!
Then the time for action is now. allow me to give you the familiar Monokuma fight.
Wait! Hold it right there!
Damn it!
What? Don't get in my way like that. I was about to whip out the Monokuma file in such a cool way.
You stupid
Shut up! I can't stand this anymore!
Got it?
How much longer are you gonna keep putting them through this? No more! I won't let you! I'll make sure I pulverize your evil intentions!
Hey!
Say something!
What's this?
Oh, now I remember who you are. You're Monami.
You just noticed?
Like...
Anyway, no, Monami, if you're gonna talk about my intentions, why don't you talk about yours first?
Huh?
What are your intentions anyway? Why are you keeping everyone cooped up on this island? I'm sure everyone here wants to know too, you know. What? No fair! You're shutting up too!
Wait! Enough already! We already have enough to deal with concerning Nagito. Please, do not say anything else that will confuse us.
Hey.
Anyway, let's begin. Huh? But...
This is just...
I mean, in the end, we still have to do it, right? As long as a killing happens, we can't do anything about it, right? We have no choice but to do it, right? Besides, it's our fault that we couldn't even prevent it.
I know. It's the only way we can survive, right?
Nice!
Looks like you kids are way more well-behaved than Mommy.
Don't fuck with me!
We're tired of this too, you know! That's why I'll definitely make sure to finish this for good this time!
This is kinda depressing.
Does that mean you guys are getting bored of this school trip?
Actually...
Don't worry, the end is near. The end?
What's the matter?
Don't make a face like a pig that's about to become bacon. You've already noticed it, right? The meaning behind that Monokuma timer. I guess there's only 2 days left, huh?
When that timer reaches 0, 2 days from now, what will happen to us?
The killing school trip will be over.
Hey,
If this will finally be over,
you serious?
does that mean we can go home?
What are you gonna do?
Don't count your bears before they've hatched. There's still something you gotta do before that, right?
So...
Once again.
The Monokuma file! Phew.
You guys need to find out who Nagito's killer is and survive the class trial.
Yes, in a wooden box. Hawk is totally right.
I don't think there's going to be enough to fill that.
I don't know, if you deal with the bodies in a certain way, I suppose you can all kind of pack them in.
If this ends here, there won't be an afterword at all.
Do your best.
Wait!
Hold on!
Give you.
I won't let you escape this time! Wait right there!
What do you guys think? If the school trip is nearly at an end, it's safe to think... Sorry. It's safe to think that we can go home, right? No.
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 But still...
Kazuichi, I understand how you feel, but we need to focus on Nagito's case first.
Damn it!
Even if we can go home, it'll be the end for us if we screw up here.
All right!
Then let's hurry up and solve Nagito's case, so we can all go back home!
However...
It is nice to think everyone can go home. But that is impossible, right? I mean, someone in this room killed Nagito.
There's a killer among us. Where do those words begin to sink into me? That was true of the previous cases. Is it really true this time? No matter how much I tried, I couldn't believe it. Because the victim was Nagito? Because his death was so abnormally cruel? No, it wasn't just that. There's something more to it than that. Whatever it was stuck inside me. First, we need to look at the Monokuma file. Victim is Nagito Komaeda. Body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp.
Just waiting for the ambulance to pass.
Let's see. Body was discovered inside the warehouse. The factory estimated time. Spear stab, stomach, multiple.
Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs and his arm.
There's a laceration. A knife implanted through his right hand.
Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. A tragic situation. Just reading this is making me depressed.
Huh? Is there something wrong with this Monokuma file?
Again? But what's wrong with it? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, and multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Immediately seeing what's wrong. I mean, it's not calling out the rope, but that's not directly involved in his death. He's not apparently. Wasn't strangled, though he was certainly not having a good time when this happened.
What about the cord thing right there? Why is it covered in blood? Is there, like, I can't tell if that's splatter on the side of his face or if that's a blunt wound to one side of his head. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It doesn't actually state the cause of death.
Wait a minute! Look at his hand. Look at the one at his hand that's not stuck. There's blood on his hand except in his palm. And there's blood on that. That looks like a remote!
That actually looks like a microphone.
A microphone or whatever, but it looks like he was holding that. We need a better look at it. It's either a remote or a microphone.
Given the cord, I don't imagine it'd be a very good remote.
Well, I mean, like, you know one of those things where you just push a button?
Like, I was gonna say it was a shower head, but it doesn't make sense to have that here.
You need to get closer to it. I guess we'll see in a moment, but I just noticed that his hand looks really weird, that there's blood definitely coating it, but except on the inside of it. It looks like he was holding on to something.
Yet it's also weird that there's blood anywhere near there.
Yeah. There's no blood near it, and yet it's coating his hand.
I'll take a look later. Only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, and multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm, and a knife impaled through his right hand. None of these are explicitly the cause of death, though if I were to take a guess, it's either the spear or just general blood loss.
Could be.
Because none of those other wounds are fatal themselves, other than the blood loss they cause.
Yeah.
It's possible he went into shock, but I think the blood loss would do him in before anything from that.
I don't know. Yep. It's definitely weird. Well, I guess I'll find out if I look around. That's what the investigation is for.
Don't worry or form conclusions on your own. It makes me more worried than I should be.
We can discuss it later. Right now is our only chance to investigate. So we should investigate first.
See?
If we don't, there won't be anything for us to discuss.
Well, I guess you're right. And let's start with the area surrounding Nagito's body. Let's start with the back of the warehouse. Since the curtain blocked most of the water, This area wasn't affected by the sprinklers that much. Thanks to that, and I see something very noteworthy. I can properly investigate Nagito's body. If you look up right next to that remains of cloth near the center, you'll see that there's a small strip of blood.
Yep, that's very interesting.
Which means he was suspended? Or up there at least.
I don't know.
Maybe he had that mic like wrapped around that, and then when he fell over, it sort of looped around and dragged across that, but that seems a little out there.
The real trick is how he's suspended between the pillars around him. That's pretty hard to do yourself. And the tightness required to actually lift you, you know?
We can't completely rule out suicide here on the condition that he had some sort of accomplice to rearrange the scene, but I can't see any reason why anyone would do that yet.
Let me see.
That aside, Sonia right now is the most suspicious, unless she was being suspicious because she saw someone else being suspicious.
It's possible too.
Thanks to that, I can properly investigate Nagito's body.
Especially check out the end of the spear. It's got this weird hooky thing on it.
That mic stand?
I have no idea.
I thought I'd have to investigate Nagito's body, but the fangirl sure did. He probably didn't expect to end up like this either.
I don't know. Maybe not this way specifically, but he was pretty gunning on the idea of being killed.
Well, he wasn't exactly trying for it. It's just, if this is a reasonable course of action to further my goals, then yes, I'll do it.
He was trying pretty hard. He literally at the start was like, hey, anybody want somebody to die? I'll help.
He was volunteering, but he also wasn't like jumping into the way of any errant tossed items or anything like that.
Okay, so he's definitely suspended. And then check out...
This is very weird, because he can't really be suspended the way his arm is tied. That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at how tight his body is.
Because it doesn't look like the rest of him is tied to anything. I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but definitely can't stop thinking about it. The Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now. What's going to happen? Huh? What's gonna happen?
That's obviously wrong.
This rotten school trip is gonna end, right? I can finally go back home. Jeez. Carefree till the end. Carefree till the end. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen?
Well, yeah.
Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends.
Hey!
What do you mean, something?
Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah.
He's making us kill each other, you know? What could be worse than that?
Damn it!
I don't know. This is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will end smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. Now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial.
I know. You...
Don't bring up strange stuff like that. Akuma's dead. There's blood coming out of his stomach.
It was an alien.
Hey! No response. He's dead, Jim. Just kidding. I'm not dead.
Darn.
This one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory? If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you. You're a stuffed animal too.
Don't put oversized garbage there. It's too misleading.
What the heck?
What are you calling oversized garbage? Is he one of Monokuma's tricks? Why do you do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood. Did you try to imitate Nagito's body or something?
What are you saying?
I had nothing to do with that.
Huh?
You're so evil.
He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there.
Jeez. Suddenly upping with aggression.
What's this?
You seem more pissed than usual these days, Mon Ami. But you better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know.
I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you to the very end.
I can't lose.
I'll definitely take back the seat of world supremacy from Monokuma.
Looks like those annoyances are going. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Did the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagito's blood? No idea. This connects to the incident. Seems weird that that would be there.
Yeah.
For one thing, it would have to be where it is, probably facing Nagito. But why is the spear covered in blood right there if the plushie should have absorbed that?
Yeah. Well, clearly, his body is suspended tight on those ropes, which is weird.
She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. Yeah, that's basically what that portrait is. What happened? There's something strange about the ceiling?
Yep.
Yeah, about that sprinkler.
It's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire.
Well,
You can see the girder right next to it, right? There.
see?
Can you see? See that red streak?
You're right. Definitely see it. Looks like a small red line on the ceiling girder.
Perhaps.
Is that blood?
Blood? What else is magenta that you call red? Color definitely looks like blood. There's no way blood could get up there, right? Plus, it's in a straight line.
That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange.
It's definitely strange. I should remember this. One of us killed Nagito in such a cruel way? It's too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh. Reverse control again.
It mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikon's. But it looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time.
What doesn't matter?
So... the time! Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written on the Monokuma file. The time of death was noon sharp.
It's at noon. What were we doing at that time?
What were we doing? Well, right now it's...
Well, that's when the bomb was set to go off, so we should have been in the warehouse when it happened.
yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean.
Noon sharp which day?
Yeah.
But we did see him that morning.
Did we?
We did. He told us they moved the bombs.
Was it on the video, though, or was he physically with us?
He was physically with us in the restaurant.
Okay.
It's time. It's 12:30 p.m.
Seriously, couldn't have been yesterday? We saw him walking around.
Yeah. He was there in the morning.
So I don't see how he could have died yesterday if we saw him today. And I don't think he's going to die tomorrow. So it also has a clock function.
Then that means Nagito died 30 minutes ago. Huh? What happened that recently? He's totally a fresh kill!
Fresh. Seems like a bad way to describe it.
If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs?
You're right. Those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon.
Alright!
Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer.
No, I think this is elaborate enough to signify it was a death trap, so they could have been with us when it went off.
Yeah, like it was just timed, you know? But this could be like when this could be like when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Wow, she's actually pretty on the nose today.
Also, this crime looks very detailed. It would have needed time to prepare.
Alright!
Then whoever doesn't have an alibi before we found the bombs is suspicious.
Huh?
Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So just as I thought.
If only everyone could go home. Nothing would make me happier.
Does anyone remember who was assigned to this island? I think it was Fuyuhiko.
No. We should finish the class trial, then we can think about what will happen after.
I never expected Nagito to die like this. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. Even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. Sometimes we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. I'll never be confused by him again. Never be safe by him again. No. Now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. We need to focus on the investigation right now. Now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Can't start with that.
Oh, come on!
A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach.
There's no way around it. That looks like the fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my! What's this? Such a strange-looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it.
Phew!
I see. You use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy and deliver the final blow with the spear.
What?
Is this your first time looking at this too?
Of course not! This is the spear of Gungnir, right?
You definitely just came up with that now.
Hey!
By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from?
I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle.
What?
Nezumi Castle?
What the hell?
I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you, mice! Damn you all to hell!
See, even he doesn't know what's inside the castle. Which is useful. Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye. The weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle. Looks like that part has blood on it too.
Ah, so it's a cord.
For some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood in it.
So it's not a button, it's a weight.
So is that what was... That looks about girder size, but how does that work? It's not like you just imprint it on the girder and it'll come off clean. maybe it was in Nagito's hand and he just had a firmer grasp than what is shown on his corpse.
Ah!
No, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he was holding it.
So that's where he was holding it. Doesn't really hold a mic like that, but we'll see. It's about the size of a human fist. Strange that this section of the core doesn't have blood on it. Also, Chiaki mentioned this earlier. Apparently that spear came from Nezumi Castle. It'd be better if I confirm that later. Just gonna call it Spear of Gungnir, okay. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had his agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Is this to keep Nagito from screaming for help?
This is bad.
Jeez. What a horrible look on his face. What's splattered all over it doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to look at him.
Got a minute? Sorry, excuse me.
Chiaki moved past Kazuichi and me, squatted down next to Nagito's face. In one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off of his mouth. Hey! What are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine. I'll put it back right away once I'm done investigating here.
Hey!
Putting the tape back isn't the issue, you ungrateful swine! You're gonna get cursed!
The blood on Nagito's face. It looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. If that's the case...
Man... It's no use. She's not listening.
Hey, about the blood splattered on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape.
Huh? What's wrong with that?
Well,
this duct tape has crinkles, like it was sticking toward the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape.
Moving his mouth. Seriously, what's wrong with that? She means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. What's wrong with that? That's something we really need to worry about? Nah. I don't really get it. Just put the duct tape back on his mouth already.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, this might be some kind of clue too. I should remember it. The knife is stabbed through Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel?
This knife. It must be from the military base.
Military base? Now that you mention it, you're right. Looks like a survival knife.
Well,
By the way, it seems like the wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife.
Which means, after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, he stabbed the knife through his right hand?
it cannot be.
And then they finished him off with the spear?
How cruel.
Then, does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using two weapons? A knife and a spear? But they could have just killed him by stabbing him with the knife. So maybe someone got a little bit of revenge on him doing all this horrible stuff, and then someone else set up a spear to capitalize on his positioning.
Yeah, maybe somebody was torturing him and then they left him, but then they did this. Could be two people involved for all we know.
But right now I'm leaning towards a death trap somewhere in here.
Me too.
Why did they need to use a spear at all?
I think I know
You
why
are
the
right.
blood got up there now. That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it?
reason they had to use the spear. Huh.
Like, if I'm looking at this, there's blood on the end. So let's say the cord was wrapped around the girder above. And so obviously there's blood on his hands and he's holding onto the cord. But at some point he clearly lets go and the cord goes up and smears the blood over the girder as it comes down.
But in most circumstances, I don't think the cord would go that smoothly. It would start swinging around if it was coming up like that.
That's the only way I can think of the blood getting up there for now.
Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He hasn't been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. And the killer didn't just tie up Nagito, they also stabbed his legs? His right wrist is either cut or burnt. Yeah, it looks like it's burnt. Probably from the fire. It was used to hold his hand in place, though stabbing it through what is more like a concrete floor sounds difficult.
Yeah.
Why would the killer do something like that?
Damn it!
At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a huge grudge toward him. Or they might have been torturing him.
Whoa! He brings up a
Torture?
good point. Torturing for information too. That's another thing to think about. Remember, he's been lording.
Again, that's something I thought torture was kind of already on the table here.
But I mean, like, torture not just for revenge, but torture because Nagito has been lording all the information he knows over everyone. They could be doing this to get him to talk or to admit something or something, you know?
Well, if that was the reason, then whoever did it has a very poor understanding of Nagito.
Probably, but that doesn't mean that someone couldn't have attempted.
Huh?
I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? If you disregard the spear in his chest, the other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? Is it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so.
Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge toward Nagito.
Damn it!
Refusing to let him die easily. I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds. This wound looks like a slice. It's probably the reason that the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to the other wounds. Regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound. There's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
There's something strange.
Strange. What?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. I think that blood is from when his left hand I think that blood is from when his left arm was sliced, but doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm.
Yeah, it definitely cuts off. That's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered. But it's clearly in between the fingers there, so it went further.
Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but
Is something else that's strange?
when you flip it over, look at the back of his hand.
Well,
There's also blood, but only above the middle joint of each finger.
You're right. Why is it only on this part?
See?
It's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win.
Yeah, sure. You win. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? Just one last check. Oh, there's something here. Front row. Nagito's right wrist is tied with rope. It looks like the tip of that rope burned off. Could this be a result of the fire? That's weird. The rope is burned off like this. Why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? Also, maybe someone burnt it to cut it? Guess I'm done with the area surrounding Nagito's body. I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly-looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? My classmate's dead body is right in front of me. One of my peers is the killer responsible. I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. I'm used to something as abnormal as that. I mean, I'm becoming abnormal too. It's a wish come true. If that flashback is any indication. Ooh, what's this I see? It's like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of plastic are scattered all over the place. This is probably... Those fire grenades that we used to put out the fire. Well, they weren't actually useful in the end. Fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Nevertheless, this evidence really isn't all that strange.
Oh.
This is... It's an oil lighter. Here's where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. They wouldn't be fire grenades if they just had water, right? Because if they were just bottles filled with water, then that would explain why the fire intensified, but... Okay, I guess Monokuma would have filled them. It's not something you do. Normally. And also there's a bunch of weird dark purple liquid there, so I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the oil or if it's the fluid from the bottles. The oil lighter was placed here.
Just kidding.
Ah, an oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm.
Bring it on.
It's a most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire.
Well?
Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them.
Which means?
So using that, the curtain was set on fire.
This is the oil lighter, huh? You think the killer set up some sort of trick with it?
You are right.
The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire.
Caused a fire to destroy evidence? It's the only reason I can think of why a killer would set fire to their crime scene, but... There's a major problem with disposing of the Nagito evidence. No body announcement, so everything was for naught. Though if they knew about the sprinklers, they probably went that way. Now then, guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. Killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There could have been another reason as well. If not, he wouldn't have gone to the trouble of tying him up with rope, covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So, what was the reason? I think I'd better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, Should try investigating the other areas inside this warehouse first. It's all pull back. Curtain there at first visit? Not sure. Possibly. A bunch of books stacked on top of each other. Apparently they contain Monokuma's poetry and photos. Sprinkler's completely soaked though. Can't even turn the pages anymore. Well, it's not like I'm missing much. Oh, is this just time again?
Hey! Like,
Oh, MP3 player. This is an MP3 player. There's even a speaker plugged into it. But why is this here? Maybe... It looks like that weird music was playing from here. You know, that music that was blaring when the fire started? You know, that music that was blaring when the fire started? Yeah, you're right. Looks like it's busted. Looks like it's busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. No mistake in it. That music was playing from that MP3 player. I don't disagree with that, but why was the killer playing music from this? Oh, hello.
Ooh.
That's quite the domino effect there.
It is.
There are a lot of tipped over Monokuma panels. The panel near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? Why are they scattered like this? Last time I came here, I seem to recall. They should have been neatly put away.
Maybe we're the ones that made this mess.
See?
Look. The tipped over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? So, maybe the reason these panels are tipped over is... It's fine. I'll open it slowly.
Where's your answer in flashback form? Yes, the curtain is there. Yep. No, that's not the problem.
Seriously, it'll be fine.
Those words kindly brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse.
It'll be fine. And she sets off the death trap. Huh? It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it.
I knew it! It's a trap! Seriously, just stop it, okay?
Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force.
What happened to opening it slowly? Kinda ignored their protests, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. Could it be... Was that it?
Well?
And there's something else I've been wondering.
Hey.
These Monokuma panels are tipped over starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? They seem to be lying on top of each other, in a straight line.
Yeah. Compared to the other tipped over panels, that line is the only one that's neat and orderly.
So...
Isn't this clearly strange?
Strange. That means... You can speculate this was done intentionally. So they put a couple of spare ones over to obfuscate it? That's probably just going to take us back, yeah. Oh, there's something here. CDs. Only CDs. No copies of Monokuma's music. These should have been burned too. They were. 2 CDs. Yeah, that looks like it's everything. And yet, I am wrong.
Go in the back.
Nope. more people there?
Apparently. I guess getting testimonies does count, right?
Yeah, it's just Akane was basically saying the same thing she said on the other side.
Yeah. Looks like this side is completely soaked because of the sprinkler. Even if there was an important clue here, we might not be able to notice it.
But it's better than the warehouse burning to the ground. Good thing we were able to put out the fire.
Hey.
But there was a lot of smoke. It's a good thing we didn't go inside when we were throwing those grenades.
You are right.
I agree. If we did, we would have been caught by the sprinklers and become all wet and soggy.
Miss Sonia's all wet. She's all drenched and soggy.
Like a noodle.
Hey!
You're thinking that, huh?
Of course not!
I wasn't thinking that at all.
Say what?
Why are you responding, Kazuichi? I was asking Hajime.
Whoa!
You're screwing with me.
Disgusting.
Oh my. Really? How lewd.
Wow.
Hey!
Please don't look at me with such fearful eyes. I only imagined it for a second.
Wow.
At least he owns up to it. Kazuichi, you should probably just keep your mouth shut already. Well, even though I did say I was gonna friggin' kill him,
Hey!
There's no way I would have actually done it. I was just upset, you know?
You know, bud. You know.
Jeez, you're pathetic.
we'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Looks like Sonia's focused on investigating the warehouse. Which reminds me, something I needed to ask her about. Now that we've pretty much finished investigating Nagito's body, I think it's time to talk to her. Hey, Sonia, do you have a minute?
Yes? What is it?
I want to talk to you about when that fake bomb Nagito set in the warehouse exploded.
Huh?
Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right?
It is all right. It is not a bomb.
Why did you know the bombs were fake?
Well...
It's not all either. When we were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the Central Island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Dude, if you wanted to trap her, let her make an excuse first, then pile on the other stuff.
I know.
You are not a very good interrogator.
No.
Where were you, and what were you doing during that time?
Oh my! It cannot be!
Do you suspect me? It's a misunderstanding. I'm not the killer. Jesus shit, you son of a bitch! Whoa.
Sonia?
I am sorry!
I'm terribly sorry. I was panicking. I shall calm down and explain to you why I was at the military base. When I first explored the final island, I discovered a vast amount of bombs there.
Huh?
Well?
At first, I was worried that someone might use them for nefarious reasons if I announced it to everyone. So, I kept silent the whole time.
I mean, you heard Nagito planted bombs. You got suspicious and went to investigate them?
That is...
And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found.
Because you were searching for them, you were late when we all gathered.
Please listen!
And because of that, I reached a conclusion. The bombs Nagito brought were from the military base, which means they were fake bombs.
How did you find out that the bombs at the military base were fake?
Because I attempted to use one of them.
What?
I see.
I thought one of the bombs would be strong enough to blast open the door to the ancient ruin. At the time, I still believed the bombs were real. And then I thought I could use one of them to gain entrance to the ancient ruin.
However, That plan was an utter failure.
Hi, Mommy.
The bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display. God damn it, all to hell!
Oh wow.
I like that she's very stilted when she swears.
I have to remember that she's not very good at it. She's gonna sound tough when she wants to.
I see. So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
I did. As did Monami as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb.
Not so secretly.
Which means...
If the bombs were the same ones that disappeared, it would mean that Nagito took them. That is why I knew it was fake. However, I did think it was strange when Nagito blew up the hotel lobby. That bomb was real, and I could not stop thinking about it. Upon further reflection, that might have been Nagito's plan all along. He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs he set were real as well.
If so, then Nagito's actions were extremely calculated. The problem is, his reason for doing it.
With this, I have explained everything.
Do you have a minute?
There should be no more reason for you to doubt me.
Well, it's not like I disbelieve you, but that could all just be a lie.
Yeah.
I am willing to accept your explanation for now. You're right. I got it.
She's right in the middle for me. Like, it's too suspicious, it almost seems obvious, and yet I can also totally believe that it's a lie, so... But it almost seems a little too easy, you know?
Ruling out suicide or a 16th party, I think the killer's gotta be one of the three in the middle. Like, it is not Akane's style. All jokes aside, she is very much willing to get in there physically. She wouldn't go and take a knife and go ham on him like that. If she wanted to torture him, she would have used her fists.
Yeah, she's all about, like, I'm gonna duel you with my fists and all that stuff. Like, she's gonna kill him. She's gonna do it, like, in this weird fair and square kind of way, you know?
And a spear, not that she couldn't use one, and, you know, weapons are the way for her to go if she wants to obfuscate her involvement in a murder, but it just doesn't seem right. And, of course, Chiaki is pure and innocent and is never guilty.
You're so gone with that, Zare. She's so quiet and so unassuming. It's always the quiet ones that are the most dangerous.
Don't you be slandering my waifu.
He's been completely taken in by her, you guys. He's gone. Excellent. All according to plan.
Plan means keikaku. I'm able to find some clues, but there's still so many things I don't understand yet.
Hold it.
You look worried.
Yeah, I am.
Well?
At a time like this, it might be good if you broaden your investigation range.
It's good to investigate other places as well. You might be right. There's several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. Military base that Sonia mentioned. Plushie factory next door. Mizumi Castle, where the spear originally came from. Nagito's room, too. I'm going to understand the reason for his actions. I need to know more about him.
I'm pretty sure the others have already finished investigating.
Can you hear me?
Hey guys, it's about time we leave this place and try exploring other areas too.
Response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her.
I see.
I agree. I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. It seems we have the same idea.
Huh?
But is it safe? Won't be anyone to guard the crime scene.
Yep.
We don't have a choice. There just aren't enough of us. Besides, we've investigated all we can here.
I guess you're right.
See?
Also, it looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece this incident together. So we need to search for them in other areas, probably. Also, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in other areas either, we'd have to give up completely.
don't really need to say that.
Hey, hey!
Then it's okay if we leave this place?
That Gungnir is what Monokuma called his spear attack when he used to kill Junko in the first game. I mean, it is one of the most iconic and famous spears. And I don't see him exactly jumping at the chance to mention Longinus. Are any other famous spears? Probably one or two, but Gungnir and Lance of Longinus are the ones that immediately come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just being overly dramatic.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay.
No time for us to stand around. In order to survive, no other way except to do it. In order to survive, we need to find Nagito's killer. If we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive. That's our reality. That's why it's no time for us to stand around. But being serious, if we did consider Chiaki, well, first of all, we know that she has a very staunch stance against murder.
Mm-hmm.
She's also been in a position where she has been nothing but helpful to us. Probably have a couple other points in here. Besides Monokuma plushies are crammed inside an enormous basket. Now, to her suspicion, didn't she just basically come out of nowhere for that whole bomb defusal thing and swipe a notebook, which might have even been Nagito's for all we know?
Mm-hmm.
Besides Monokuma plushies were crammed inside an enormous basket. Looks like there aren't any clues here.
My, I have never seen so many Monokumas in my life!
Well, Monokuma isn't exactly someone you would normally run into.
However, while I was staring at these Monokumas, a thought occurred to me.
Well?
The bomb that went off at the lobby might have been set up there.
Huh?
Do you have a minute?
If you hide the bomb inside a Monokuma plushie, it would make a frightening weapon. Do you not think that the group that was forcing us to kill each other would devise something like that?
Amazing!
A plushie bomb is an act of terrorism!
I mean, a bomb in general is an act of terrorism, but yes.
All right!
Let us rip these apart right away so we can confirm it!
Don't interrupt us, don't interrupt us. Why am I interrupting us?
No!
Oh, hold on. If there was a bomb inside these, wouldn't it explode if we carelessly messed with it?
Easy as pie!
Either way, it is all gravy!
All gravy? What the hell does that even mean?
Enough already!
Stop! There's no bomb!
Hey,
I don't know if you just pick me up, see? All you'll feel is the soft weight of cotton.
I see, I see.
You are right.
However...
Then, where did Nagito obtain the bomb he used?
who knows?
I wonder... If I'm gonna give you guys a hint, then you should know it wasn't from the military base.
What?
To tell you the truth, the bombs there are all fakes.
Please wait.
I know that already. You should have said so earlier.
No.
Well, I thought if I kept quiet, it would foreshadow that a killing was gonna happen. That's why I'm just now telling you for the first time. Whew, I feel relieved.
If the bomb wasn't from the military base or this factory, then he brought it from the Octagon.
Well done.
I must say, you have a good eye there, Sonia. Putting a bomb inside one of my plushies seems like a splendid idea. Let's try it!
That is...
Did I say something I should not have said?
It's not your fault. Don't worry about it. This isn't exactly a novel idea. He had bombs in himself in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
It's an enormous machine. Let's stop for now. Looks like there's nothing related to the incident there. That reminds me. We saw Nagito's video message on this laptop.
Is he still watching us from somewhere? If he's not, then how did he time his message so perfectly?
No, it looks like the video was set to play after the explosion by a wireless signal from the detonator. But why did he have to use a video message? That's the one thing I don't get. At the time, Nagito should have already been killed. Which means that video was recorded in advance. That's right. Besides that video, there might be data on this laptop that could be used as a clue. Thought in mind. I tried messing around with the laptop, but it's no use. It's locked. There's no way I can examine this. If it's locked, maybe there really is something inside. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Apparently the bombs that were stuffed on this truck were actually fireworks. Which reminds me, the truck looks like it came from the military base. Nagito must have brought it from there. Other than that, nothing in particular that catches my eye. Manufacturing equipment. Break room. Break room is on the other side of this door. This is where we obtained the fire grenades. Nothing inside? Nothing on the floor that looks like a clue. Even trash. Oops. Okay, good. That's where I wanted to go.
Such an ominous
Nope,
sky.
I got it wrong. Military base was on the right.
Man.
Damn it! This dangerous place is the reason all this messed up stuff is happening.
Hey!
Leaving guns out in the open is totally dangerous. Seriously, they gotta take better care of these.
They're all fakes. They're all water guns.
No comment. It's easy to say that. There's no one on this island who can do that. I tried looking through the truck bed. It's empty. Nothing's here. When I first came here, there was something on the truck bed. Which means someone was telling the truth.
However...
And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found.
Did Nagito know the bombs weren't real? It's possible that he thought they were the real thing. No, never mind. He said as much in his video message. So, were you surprised? Oh. I'm wondering if maybe he had a couple of wounds when he recorded this.
I'm not sure.
Seriously, think about it. Do you really think there are enough bombs to blow up an entire island? Even if there were, a guy like me would never be able to use them. He knew the bombs were fake. He only did what he did to weed out the traitor. No, is that really it? Nagito only do that to expose the traitor? Maybe there was a different motive behind his actions. A huge supply of guns and other firearms are stuffed into the truck bed.
Whoa!
Ah! Found it! What did you find?
Huh?
Well, that truck bed over there has guns in it. I also found stuff like a survival knife. Wait, that's... Isn't that the same type of knife that was stabbed through Nagito's right hand?
Maybe...
Which means the killer obtained that knife here.
All right!
So the killer is someone who visited this military base at least once. That's everyone, though. No, not me. This is the first time I've been here.
Oh.
That sounds fishy. The bombs are fake. This might be fake too. But I'm not brave enough to check for myself.
Suck it up. Do it anyway.
What happened in 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, no. He died at noon. So he could have been tortured any time before then, so long as he didn't bleed too much to lose consciousness.
Yeah.
So there would be... Let's see, I think we met him at 10, so that does give us 2 hours before his death and when we last saw him. So somewhere in that window, a bunch of stuff happened. It's that dreadful helicopter. One that executed Teru Teru. Doesn't have anything to do with the incident. Not sure if there's going to be anything relevant here. She's being made here. Looks like it's modeled after a 4-legged animal. Is the Mono Beast? Does this mean they were made here? Monokuma said this place is for making these. This place is supposed to manufacture machine parts. Why are they making dangerous things like this? Will Monokuma take over this place and change things around? If so, why? There's so many things I don't understand. I should focus on investigating the incident first. Humanoid machine, or robot. It's being made here. Is Nekomaru made here too? Does a company that manufactures machine parts have access to this kind of technology? Is the Future Foundation connected to this place somehow? I can't take my mind off it. I should focus on investigating the incident for now. Oops. Is there anything in the vendors? I can't imagine there is. So there's someone slacking. Oh, no one's slacking. Good on that. Yep, empty. And that's just that. Okay. Alright, so next, I don't have anything in Central Island. First, and the fourth. No, there's Fuyiko. Okay, so I should be going left here. looks like that's what I was missing.
Oh, okay. What?
Okay, so maybe it wasn't a microphone. It's a very bizarre weapon then.
I don't know enough about the description of the spear to know if that's an actual reference to the way it actually works or not.
I know there are a handful of weapons that basically are some sort of miniaturized polearm with a chain or cord attached to some weight, but you usually see that as a sickle. I think there are a couple other variants too, but I've never heard of a spear. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is hanging from the wall. The spear. It's definitely it, right?
I see.
Just as I thought. It looks exactly like the spear that killed Nagito. The same whip-like cord is attached to the handle, and there's a weight at the end of it.
Also,
Plus, it looks like one of the spears on the wall is missing. There's no mistaking it. The killer took one of the spears and used it as a weapon. Spear of Gungnir, huh? Well, Kuma would totally come up with a lame name like that. But why did the killer use the spear and a knife?
well, yeah.
Yeah, they could have just killed him with the knife and it would have been easier too. There's no way a spear like this with this unnecessary cord thing on it would be easy to use. Yeah, it definitely looks hard to read. Still, I chose this spear for a reason. What could that reason be? I feel a little tired. No matter how much I investigate, I don't feel any closer to the truth. It's probably why I feel this way. Feeling this strange feeling that I've never felt before. As if Nagito is trying to make us suffer, even after he's died. Well, now's not the time to think about stupid things like that. I haven't even investigated his cottage yet. It's too early to start complaining. If we investigate that place, I might be able to find some kind of clue. Alright, let's go. Password to enter the ancient ruin. The most important part is erased. Nagito was the only one who found out the password. In here. Apparently went inside, but he's dead. Are you unable to get the password? No. We should deal with that later. Right now, investigating the case comes first.
I get it.
The killer must have taken the spear from here. A spear like that isn't convenient at all. It would have been a pain in the ass to carry around. So, why did they bother using it in the first place?
I see.
Maybe this spear was actually used for torture, too. Torture, huh? There's our go. Oh. Oh, hello.
What's this?
Wow.
Oh my! You want to go inside Nagito's room too?
Hajime.
Hajime.
What are you gonna do?
I was just listening to Chiaki's request. She wants me to unlock the door to Nagito's cottage because she really needs it for the class trial. She begged me to do it while she was licking my black eye.
I didn't do that.
Boy, tough crowd.
Then do it! It's It's sweet because it's made of black beans.
Hey, we don't have time to mess around. Hurry up and unlock the damn door.
Fine, fine.
I guess I have no choice. I just gotta do that, right?
Now then. Loose! Bye-bye!
See? I've opened the door. You can freely investigate now.
This isn't my first time seeing that, but why is the door open with a spell like that?
Perhaps. Maybe the cottage key is computerized?
Hey.
More importantly, let's go inside now that the door is open.
Yeah, you're right. This looks fairly normal.
What is
If
with
a little
that?
I want to say Monami's involved.
Uh-huh.
So, Nagito was living here. What was he thinking inside this room? What was he feeling as he spent his days in here? I can't even imagine. Trying to see absolute hope. Becoming despair so he could act as a stepping stone for the rest of us. No matter how much I think about it, I just don't understand him at all. I don't even know if he truly believed that. It was especially weird these past few days. What changed him? Maybe a clue to that might be hidden here as well. And now you don't get a fridge. Well, all you got was a stupid shelving unit for displaying Monokuma. Maybe my fridge was behind the standing unit?
Our time for investigating is winding down.
So...
The bookshelf might take some time to investigate, so we should try examining some other areas first.
Okay. Well, we'll have to check the obvious area first. The bed. The bed that comes with the cottages. It's just like the one in my room, but...
Hey.
Maybe there's something hidden under this bed. It's an unusual place for hiding things. Usual place.
Yeah, like porn.
Like how he thinks that immediately! That's great.
Well, we should still check just in case. We'll actually find an edition of Hope monthly.
That would be cute.
Wouldn't you consider what he'd be using it for? No expectations and without thinking, I peeked under the bed and... something here! Plastic bag from the supermarket. Looks like there's something inside. Oh, Hawk.
He had some interesting kinks.
Pomp, what are we gonna do on the bed?
It looks like a gas mask and rubber gloves. He really was
Didn't
into
the
some
gas
weird-
mask come up before? Where was it? I feel like we've seen one before in this game.
These look like the real deal. Did he get these from the military base?
You think he had the IR goggles? That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Gas mask and rubber gloves. He's hiding these under his bed. What did Nagito use this stuff for? Maybe there's just a gas mask in another game I played.
Possibly.
Hajime.
Was there anything else under the bed?
Let's see. Peeked under the bed once again and started looking around the area where I found the supermarket bag and... a small piece of paper on the floor. Excuse me. Piece of paper. Made of blue aluminum? Then it's not paper.
A round, thin piece of aluminum, huh? It's similar to those seals that go over jars of unopened mayonnaise.
I get what you're saying, but does that mean this is just a piece of trash?
Wait. Time out.
Who knows?
I don't want to know what he's doing with just a jar of mayonnaise. I mean, I know it's more recent than that. I feel like it was during this playthrough, so maybe it was just some game I played off stream. Might be too soon to decide that. I saw the Kuma. There's a refrigerator.
Huh?
Nice. My cottage doesn't even have a refrigerator. I wonder where he got it from.
Nagito probably supplied it himself.
Why would he go to the trouble of putting a refrigerator in his room? Does he really enjoy cold drinks?
Or it could be a really smart way to make sure you don't get poisoned by anybody. Just saying.
You gotta keep your mayonnaise nice and fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I talked with Chiaki. I opened the refrigerator out of curiosity.
It's full of body parts. Oh boy.
Monokuma's special poison for poisoning use only. Really isn't much inside. The only thing inside the refrigerator was a brown bottle.
For someone who likes cold drinks, it doesn't look like he's stocked very much. But that bottle clearly isn't a drink, right?
Really? Looks like some kind of dietary supplement to me. Protein powder, maybe?
What?
Took the brown bottle out of the fridge and started reading the label. Exclusively made for poisoning someone to death? Hey, this is...
Could it be?
Yeah, it looks like poison.
Shit.
Shit, Sherlock. Jeez.
Insofar as we can trust any label.
That's true.
Poison!
Looks like there's a warning label on the back. Let's examine it in a little more detail.
Well, there's no protein powder bottles to swap labels with there. Well, we haven't seen. Maybe that's where the blue wrapper came from. Throw out the bottle, keep the packaging.
But be careful with that bottle. Don't drop it.
Got it. We can't poison the floor now, can we? Stop it. You worry like that, I'm gonna get nervous.
Whoa, that is a lot there.
Grabbed the bottle with my trembling hand and began reading the warning label on the back of the bottle. Poison made specifically for killing someone. It's Monokuma's special poison. This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized. In a gaseous state, it is heavier than air. It breaks down in minutes, and it is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it is possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications. Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place, in a glass or plastic container, away from sunlight.
This sure does look like a chemical made solely for poisoning someone to death. This refrigerator must be here to keep the poison secure.
But where did Nagito get something like this?
Well,
that question could apply to the bomb he used at the hotel, too.
I'm thinking the octagon. Apply to the bomb.
see?
There should be a reason Nagito was able to obtain such dangerous items.
The octagon inside the funhouse! This poison, he must have brought it with him from there too, right?
Perhaps.
He's probably hiding them somewhere on his body during the last class trial.
He was hiding a bomb and poison. The class trial?
Jeez, how dangerous. What would he have done if he accidentally tripped and broke the bottle?
Just thinking about it scares me.
Hey, hey.
Also, he already blew up the bomb he took with him at the lobby. But what about this poison?
Huh?
See?
It looks like the bottle is less than half empty.
I'd say it's more than half full.
Was it like this from the beginning? Or did Nagito use it? If so, where did he use it? I wonder, is there still a trap somewhere that hasn't been sprung yet?
Another trap?
Perhaps.
For example, maybe he was making some kind of trap using this poison before he died. If that actually exists, it could be really bad. It could potentially kill everyone on this island.
Everyone on the island? What the hell? Nagito, are you still trying to make us suffer? Still trying to make us suffer even after you've died?
You hear a ghostly wailing. Neener, neener, can't touch my wiener.
What? Please tell me where that's coming from.
His ghostly voice. Neener, neener.
Fancy looking treasure box covered in sparkling pink lights is totally standing out. Could this be... Oh, it's her precious thing.
Can you let me know if you find my treasure? It's a magnificent treasure box covered in sparkling pink diamonds. Lights.
Or lights.
Perhaps.
Sorry, I was looking at the diamond shape.
That treasure box.
Chiaki, you know about this? Moreover, you didn't notice it immediately and commented when we came into the room?
I don't know.
Yep.
It's really cute.
Oh, good. Oh, she was just reacting. This looks like Monami's stolen treasure box. If this is here, that means the thief Monami was talking about was Nagito. Why would Nagito steal this? In order to find out, it'd be good to see what's inside.
Hold it.
Is it gonna be okay? It looks a little dangerous.
It might be, but this could be some kind of clue, you know. This wasn't important. Nagito wouldn't have stolen it from Monami in the first place. Turn back toward the treasure box and cautiously open the lid.
What?
Inside, there was a notebook. Oh, I thought it was a trading card, but yeah.
Great.
General purpose notebook. This is it?
Grade, class, number, and name.
There's a notebook inside this treasure box like it's something important. Took the notebook out of the treasure box and began leafing through it.
Wow.
It contained sloppy drawings, as if they were drawn by children. Entries that looked like chicken scratch. Day 1, I was able to talk to everyone for the first time today. Monokuma showed up and things turned bad. Day 2, Byakuya is the leader. A lot of things happened today, so everyone's tired. What is this? A diary?
Looks like it. Did Monami write these?
Probably. These pictures and entries totally suit her. I kept flipping through the pages. Day 3, day 4, day 5. Page after page of poorly written entries continued on in the notebook. I don't really understand, but it looks like there aren't any clues here. Right when I was about to give up, my hand suddenly stopped on an entry titled Day 16. Day 16. We've been in the funhouse for 3 days. Everyone's hungry and on edge. Hajime tried to go in the final dead room today. Probably panicking because no one believes him. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We did.
Huh?
Hey.
Hajime, did something happen?
Oh, it's nothing.
Stop it!
Hey! Stop! Don't look at my notebook!
Okay, I'll just continue reading your diary then. Whoa! Out of nowhere, Monami suddenly appeared and took the notebook out of my hand.
I won't forgive you.
Phew! I did ask you to look for my treasure box, but I never said you were allowed to peek inside!
Never said I wasn't.
Jeez, that was close. If I had come any later, he would have seen the inside of the notebook. Unfortunately, you were a little too late.
Huh?
But if this notebook is here, then Nagito was the thief?
No!
Betrayal! I was betrayed by my beloved student!
Hey.
That notebook is pretty much your diary, right? Diary? It seems that way.
Ta-da!
That's right! This is my important diary where all my maiden secrets are hidden.
Hey!
Hey! You're a liar!
You always show up out of nowhere!
Why you?
Mon ami, it's not good to lie, you know.
Lie?
There's no way you wrote in that notebook. After all, Mon ami can't even write.
What?
Huh?
What are you saying? Jeez, I can write letters easily. I can finally write the letter B.
That's wrong.
No, you can't. Because you have no fingers on your hands.
No, you have no thumb.
Phew.
See? Bullseye! I know, because I'm the same way too.
Oh. What?
Huh? Are you mad? Are you angry that I exposed a weakling like you?
Hey.
So what's this about?
So that's what it is.
Oh, okay, so that's what this is about. You're seriously trying to crush me.
What are you saying?
What are you saying? There's no way a big brother would ever crush his little sister.
It looks like the time to settle things between us is getting closer every second.
Hey, I don't know why you're getting so serious, but is what Monokuma said true?
Huh?
He said you didn't write in that notebook. Is that true? If so, who wrote in it?
Well, you know, it's, how should I put it?
Bye-bye.
Excuse me?
Hold on! Damn it, she totally ran away again.
Yep. Same pattern as usual. Looks like it's a waste of time to try and get answers from her.
Still, I really wanted to ask her about that notebook. Actually, it might be better that I didn't ask her. Oops. A lot of books and other mysterious items stuffed on the shelf. The genres and the types of items are also random. Don't make any sense of them whatsoever.
Well, they say a shelf is a mirror that reflects a person's heart.
Do they now?
I definitely don't know much about Nagito just by looking at this.
So what should we do? It's really difficult to look through all these piles.
That doesn't mean we should ignore it, though.
Yep.
I'll leave it to you then, Hajime.
Wait, what?
It's better if a boy goes through another boy's things, you know? There might be private stuff here.
Well, that might be true, but
See?
So I'll leave this shelf to you.
I think I just got persuaded to do this without realizing it. I sighed and walked toward the shelf. One by one, I started removing the various books and items and examining each one. Even as I examined them carefully, there was still a bunch of random books and items. There's no way there are any clues here. Oh ho!
Ooh!
Huh? Well, that file wasn't the only one I received from... Wait. How do you make? This is Nagito speaking. Well, that file wasn't the only one I received from Monokuma. This is another one. It's sealed. Indeed! It's the school badge of Hope's Peak Academy.
Does that have information about our stolen memories?
Unfortunately, I couldn't find any clues about that. This file doesn't contain our information, just Hajime's information. Nagito said this only contained information about me, but is that really true? Look at this. It should be obvious, right? And he said I was from the reserve department and had no talent whatsoever. That might be another one of his lies, too.
And you're totally gonna check, right?
But Hawk, Nagito never lies. He said so himself. In the file I held in my hand to confirm that. Instantly, I realized something was strange. If this really has only my information, then why is this file so thick?
You're just so interesting.
As soon as I opened it, it was clear to me. Just as I thought, Nagito had lied to me. Aside from my information, there was information about the others. Kazuichi, Fuyuhiko, Akane, and Sonia, and everyone who died. Had pages of information about them too. The file contained information on all 16 of us. Leave my information my ass. I can't believe he'd make up such a strange lie. It means the rest of it might be a lie too. Turned to the page containing my information and began reading through the content. Also, that should be setting off alarm bells, because... Oh no, we do have 16 listed here. Right, I think we're missing one. Profile contained basic information such as my date of birth, my height and weight, and so forth. There's one thing that specifically caught my eye. The words reserve course student. There's no denying it. It confirmed that I truly was a reserve course student from the reserve department. Why is this the only thing that isn't a lie? Why am I the only one here who's from the reserve department? Why am I here with all the other Ultimates?
Hey.
Hajime, did something happen?
Well, I just found a strange file.
Isn't that the special prize Nagito received when he cleared the final dead room? As I recall, your student profile should be in there.
It's not just my profile. Profiles of everyone on this island are in here too. Nagito is lying.
Big revelation there. When you say everyone, do you mean everyone?
Yeah, it's just basic information, but should be profiles for all 16 of us.
Can I take a look at that file?
Jackie leaned against me and peered into the file.
Gee.
You're right. My profile is really in here, but unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any details.
Details?
Details about our missing memories. Information about the time we spent at Hope's Peak Academy. If it's not written in there, these profiles might have been written before we entered the academy.
Then it's impossible to obtain new clues from them.
Yeah, seems like it.
Hold on.
Huh?
What happened?
I just noticed it right now, but...
The file. His name isn't in there, right? There's supposed to be 16 names worth of profiles, but his name is the only one missing, right?
Who are you talking about?
Byakuya. I'm talking about Byakuya Togami. Look carefully. No matter where I look, I don't see his name anywhere.
Crap.
No way!
So what if a name isn't written in that file? Perhaps, based on that, you think he might be the traitor?
No. It's not just because his name isn't written in here. It's not the only reason I think he's suspicious. He participated in the killing school life at Hope's Peak Academy, right? For someone like him, be in a similar situation on this island? No matter what, it's definitely suspicious.
Well, it pains me to say this, but what you're saying about the missing name and about the killing school life...
Too bad.
It's totally wrong! There's a completely different reason.
Oh, different reason?
You're getting all riled up.
How should I put this? You guys have been getting all worked up about that Byakuya for no reason. Which means the great mystery that you think surrounds that Byakuya doesn't exist. You're basing it on one person's cheap speculation.
What do you mean?
What the heck?
You don't have to ask me that. You'd know the answer just by looking through those profiles, right?
Huh? Let's turn back to the file. Yeah, because if Byakuya's not in there and there's 16, then
It must
who's
be
the last one?
Yeah, there should be an all one out.
One by one, start flipping through the pages and confirming the names. Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Suddenly,
Ultimate imposter.
I came across a page that was filled with question marks.
I was right. I feel so vindicated right now.
Every section was filled with question marks. Could barely even be considered a student profile. On that page, I was only able to confirm one thing. Ultimate imposter?
That's that Byakuya's true identity.
True identity?
He was a fake that was pretending to be the ultimate affluent progeny, Byakuya Togami.
A
Interesting.
fake?
Hey,
The fact that his profile is filled with question marks isn't a mistake or an oversight. Surprisingly enough, that's the correct information regarding him. The ultimate imposter has no name, no permanent address, and even his age and gender is unknown.
Wow.
Basically, he doesn't exist.
Wow.
Because he doesn't exist, he's able to exist as anybody. That's his talent. No, I'm not jealous of that at all.
That person wasn't really Byakuya Togami?
Ooh.
Is that why he was so much fatter compared to when he was involved in the killing school life?
so cool.
His physique doesn't affect his ability to fool others at all. Real imposters are skilled like that.
Then he was lying to us the whole time?
But still,
But he couldn't help it.
What? Why couldn't he help it?
oh,
'Cause that was his talent.
Huh?
Well, having talent means you're also bound to that talent. The moment you obtain a talent, your way of life has already been chosen for you. You can't do anything else except rely on that talent, regardless of whether you want that life or not.
In that sense, compared to the other ultimates, your life might be a bit more liberating.
What the hell?
Anyway,
Anyway, I'm not happy that you guys fell for a scam that I had nothing to do with.
that's right.
So I'll tell you straight up, this revelation about Byakuya is exactly the truth.
Then, what was he trying to say to me that one time? I cannot talk to others about my past. I suspect that my skeptical nature is partly to blame. Mistrusting others, and being distrusted in turn. For a long time, my life has been a living hell.
Based on that context, if I had to guess,
No,
maybe he was just complaining that he was cursed to wander the earth as nothing more than a fraud. But if you guys had your school memories, you never would have been betrayed in the first place. I mean, it'd be different if you were meeting him for the first time. But since you guys went to Hope's Peak Academy, you should have known about the ultimate imposter already.
So, in the end, all leads back to memory loss.
Phew. Geez, the Future Foundation sure is awful. There's no way you should ignore Motomi or the traitor.
Who is it? Who's the traitor? Just from looking at these 16 profiles, I still wouldn't know who's from the Future Foundation. Is there really someone like that?
Of course!
Well, obviously you wouldn't know. I made that file so you guys couldn't find out.
Could it be?
So it's just as I thought. You're the one who did it.
Hey,
The fact that there are 16 profiles in there is what's wrong. I mean, the traitor is a spy sent by the Future Foundation, not a student from Hope's Peak Academy.
Made a fake profile for the traitor and included it in here?
Correct!
It wouldn't be fun if you figured out who the traitor was so easily, right?
Hey.
Then we can't use this file to figure out who the traitor is. That was true for Nagito too, right?
Well, probably. It's dripping with despair, isn't it? You wasted your precious time on something that isn't a clue.
Are you sure about this?
Is that a wise decision? Time's up, you know.
Time's up. Wait!
Excuse me for a moment.
Get back here, you little shit!
And Bath Kuma will forever be soggy.
Oh no.
That chimed just now.
Yep.
What is most important for living things? Well, personally, I think time is. I mean, your bank account may go up and down, but time will inevitably run out, right? That's why we gotta cherish time. There is nothing more wasteful than wasting time. So, time's up. We will begin the last class trial. So please gather at Monokuma Rock.
Last one.
I'll see you soon.
The last class trial? He said that, right? He said last class trial.
Yep.
I heard it too. He really did say it was the last class trial.
What do you think? Should we believe him?
Monokuma seemed anxious about the Monokuma timer earlier, right? 2 more days? And he said something about the killing school trip ending, right?
Based on the time limit, this might definitely be the last one.
But still...
But I can't imagine that's the real end.
Huh?
I think Monokuma's real plan might be just beyond that.
His real plan? Is Monokuma still planning to make us do something? What could it be? Maybe after putting us through all this, he's planning to kill the remaining survivors all at once?
Well?
But still, it's also not good, but still, it's also not a good idea to think about it too much, I think. I think we should focus on the class trial that's waiting for us first.
You're right. Class trial for Nagito's murder. We're pretty screwed. Haven't collected my thoughts because we're so focused on this file. Still can't see who killed Nagito.
But still...
Well, you don't have to worry so much.
Huh?
Right?
I mean, we're not fighting this alone, you know?
You're right. You're absolutely right. We're not alone. Even if it's a mystery that can't be solved alone. As long as everyone cooperates and works together. Yeah. If we do that, things will turn out fine. Way I can run away. Especially when this trial's the last one.
We
Have
must
to go to Monokuma Rock. Niga-cha-damida, niga-cha-damida, niga-cha-damida. Oh, sorry. It's not Jabberwock Park. I have taken the wrong route once again. One of these days we'll find Mount Kuma more. Monokuma Rock, there it is.
Damn right.
Looks like everyone's here.
Huh?
Is this it? Shouldn't there be more people?
Damn it.
Stop it. You're making me depressed.
Stupid fool! You're making me depressed!
So, it is going to happen again. This cruel conflict. Where we must doubt our friends.
But once we're through with this, we can go back, right?
That's right.
The Monokuma bastard said so, didn't he? He said this is the last class trial.
Damn it.
But we've been tricked every step of the way. There's no way I can believe that so easily.
Of course not.
Why can't you believe it? The guy who's making us do all this is the one saying it, you know?
You know, right?
That's why I'll definitely survive. If we can really go home after we deal with this class trial,
That's right.
I'll definitely find out who the killer is, no matter what. Even if I have to pull out all the stops.
You...
What the fuck? Sorry, that was weird. What the fuck? Why are you here?
You haven't realized it yet. The feeling of wanting to leave this island? Thinking like that is Monokuma's trap, you know?
True, but it's a little late to not spring it.
I know, right?
I mean, you really could have come forward about that. 16 or so days ago?
Huh?
What are you saying?
Got it?
There's no way Monokuma will end things here. He's planning something far worse.
Stop trying to jinx us!
I'll pick you up!
Damn right, stupid rabbit should just shut up. Everyone, you mustn't run away from despair.
Huh?
I finally realized after losing my powers. I've realized that cursing your powerlessness or your fate accomplishes nothing. The possibility may be small, but as long as there's a possibility, you must face it. In order to become someone who can be proud of yourself. So I will fight!
Huh? What's her deal?
I do not really know, but she seems different from before.
Maybe she read a self-help book.
Wait.
But her eyes she looks so determined.
You...
What can you tell just by looking at those button eyes? Anyway, make sure you turn off Minimaru. It'd be annoying if he started talking during the trial.
Aw, fine. Come here, little.
I am now 90% sure it's Soda. And there's some feature of Minimaru that's gonna be a problem for him.
But still...
Somehow, I understand what Monomi is saying, I think.
Anyway, let's get going. To the last class trial.
Yep.
You're right. We need to fight as much as we can. No matter what hopeless truth awaits us in the end.
This is the end. I kept saying those words to myself over and over within my mind. I entered Monokuma Rock.
Yeah.
This elevator ride. This'll be the last time for this, too, right? Interesting how everyone here makes a triangle formation. I hope so. No, it's probably different. It's, I hope so.
Well,
Let's worry about things after we're finished.
you are right.
More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us.
Damn it.
Killer managed to kill someone like Nagito. There's no way this is going to go smoothly. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do that.
Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials.
Yeah, you're right. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. Even if he's gone, ones who survive need to stand and fight. We must fight. Then, the door slowly opened. Its bright light greeting us. Is that the light of hope? Or the light of despair?
Well now.
Oh, this looks a lot nicer.
Well then, now that the chatterbox Nagito is gone, there are only 6 of you left.
Shut the hell up!
Enough! Just fucking start this already!
Hey!
Hey, this is it, right? This is really the last class trial, right?
Yep.
It sure is. So, you gotta show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it your all.
All right!
Didn't I tell you? He said it! This is the end!
Now then.
She's not tied up.
Let's get this trial started.
Viva killing!
This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other.
Oh boy.
This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is also the last class trial. That curtain is about to rise. Nagito Komaeda, the ultimate lucky student. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. Came across as very sociable. His true nature held such a demented thought process that was nothing like his outward appearance. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. That he said he was yearning for a powerful hope that can overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope would never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. This way of thinking was completely screwed up. But there were also times he saved us too. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. And I have no idea at all who did it, but there's no way we can end this without knowing. We will be consumed by despair. That's why we absolutely have to find out. The person who finished off Nagito, the killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. If Monokuma says this is really the last class trial, it's all the more reason we need to do this. And so, this life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair, the last one, has begun.
Dun.
Okay, so a couple things. First of all, it is very suspicious that they would throw such a wild card like the ultimate imposter out in the first chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And we're only finding out about him now. Don't think we're done with him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, as nice and clean as this all looks like it's being set up to be, spoilers, it's not.
Yeah.
They really threw a curveball in the last game's 5th stage.
Hmm.
So be prepared to be guilty.
Yep.
They would be the same flags.
You never know.
Right, the problem is I can't buy enough.
The schemes and plots are always so clever, so yeah, I would not put it past us to be the bad guy in the end. Somehow.
I'm not saying in the end, I'm saying that now is the perfect time to start breaking rules.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do this.
Prepare yourself.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person...
That's a nice serifed X. Right.
Aw, that's cool.
I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh my, Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you?
He's also not bound up.
Yeah, I know. I said that. She's not tied up for some reason.
You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit? Chesto!
She's still standing there. Oh, whoa.
One more time! Jeez! How about this one? This will be my final blow!
Just revisiting all of them.
Okay.
It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger.
Either someone who thought that they might be wrongfully accused of being the traitor, or there are a number of reasons to do it, Nagito.
Yeah.
Not very many good ones considering the track record of murderers on this island. But...
Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Come on, dude.
So stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
Traitor. The killer who murdered Nagito is here, right? Is he the same person? Or... no idea what we're opening with.
Let's just listen to the thing first. Leonard Monko's account.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
the reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up.
What were they trying to find out by torturing him?
Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
I agree on that.
If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
I believe it now.
Yeah, I believe it now, but I do not think he isn't capable. What are you again, Fuyuhiko? I'm just saying.
Okay, so what do we have here? We can agree that it was by coincidence that Fuyuhiko found the bombs. There's something else we could agree with. We can disagree that it was torture. And there's something else we could disagree with. So I've missed the two in the middle there.
Maybe it's the fact that his mouth was duct taped. Because...
I don't think that was a...
Well, wait, hang on. Let me finish just for a second. I can't be certain if the splatter on his face was caused by different wounds. What we do know is that the duct tape was over his mouth and it blocked his mouth from getting covered in blood. So, at one point, Chiaki says something about how the wounds on his arm were what got onto his face. But clearly it looks like there's a little bit of splatter coming from his middle. The point I'm trying to reach is, if he was tortured, did all the wounds begin truly after the duct tape was put over his mouth? Because if that's true, then if someone's trying to get information out of him, they're not going to get anything if his mouth is shut.
That is true. It would not exempt the leg wounds. And there is a case to be made that the arm wounds happened before he was gagged. This is assuming that someone wanted information out of them and weren't just doing it for their own personal pleasure. But
it's true.
That's probably the way I'd lean it.
I mean, I have a lot of trust in Chiaki's assessment that the blood from his face could mostly come from his arm, but I'm not entirely sure. She could be wrong. I certainly don't think she'd lie to us.
Okay, the gas mask and gloves make sense with the poison. It's also possible we might need to borrow a sandwich. Killer have to torture Nagito? No. Were the wounds on Nagito's body really caused by torture in the first place?
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect
Is whoever found the bomb first!
That
no,
was
it doesn't work.
Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Hold on. How do you absorb? I think it was just holding it. I wonder if I can absorb the blue. So, if you target a weak spot, you can absorb it. And weak spots are explicitly in yellow, so it doesn't sound like you can absorb that. But it's neither of those if you don't agree with one. So logically, it shouldn't be those two. Or hold on, does that work out? Or it should be either putting down what's a yellow one that's false, or propping up a blue one that's true.
Well, which one was the blue one?
That Fuyuhiko wouldn't torture, and also that whoever tortured, what the torture was for was to find the location of the bombs. And so the yellows were that whoever did it was the one who found the bombs first, which clearly conflicts with that other middle one. Or I can't remember the first one now. And that's hinting that's not
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Torture Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect
Is whoever found the bomb first!
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Duct tape. Okay.
What was the first one again?
Oh crap. Ah!
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up.
Torture
wounds.
wounds.
They were
something.
torturing him.
Torturing him. Not that one.
The reason Nagito's body was...
It's because the
There you go. Torture Nagito.
Killer tortured Nagito. Was duct tape one of our available options?
Yeah, duct tape is one of the options.
Okay, I think that's it. Oh, yeah, we have it highlighted right there.
So that's why he was so beat. What were they trying to find out by torch? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so,
Is whoever found the bomb...
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
the reason Nagito's body was covered with...
It's because the killer tortured...
Yep.
No, that's
Yay!
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
I'm prepared.
Are you?
Ah, I just realized it. It's a trap.
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
Huh? I don't get it.
Stupid. Well, he's gonna explain himself.
Alright, what's he trying to do?
Good thing with any.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, but that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down! But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention, this is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him...
Damn it!
After they killed him.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was... you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. They wanted to
Duct
hide
tape.
the fact that he got interrogated.
Damn it!
I'm pretty sure it's the duct tape because it covers the blood splatter.
Like you said, Nagito's... you obviously assumed he couldn't talk, but that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down!
Oh, hold on. Oh, what was this?
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention, this is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb. Then, after they killed him...
Okay, so...
Damn it!
So it's one of those two.
So I guess after they killed him? The duct tape was definitely on his mouth before he died?
Well, let me just look at the clue we have here. Under the duct tape. Desperately moving his mouth underneath it. There you go.
Yeah.
It's weird that we keep using duct tape over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth... you obviously assumed he couldn't talk, but that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down! But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention, this is how... First, the killer tortured Nagi and got information about... Then, after they killed him...
There you go.
Allow me to cut through those words! No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
What did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
You went elementary school or something?
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so we wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer? If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
Can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Which means, it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
No, because we have the dominoes.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering how they set it up. Did they just leave the lighter burning, had it knocked over and hit the cloth curtain? Seems like the most likely. Unless that stuff that we saw on the floor was oil and they leaked some in advance.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect. Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
Use it for the fire, huh? Right. You need to clear that up first. Could also do the oil light.
True.
Let's start with that.
The direct cause of the fire was... the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
No, but they could use.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
No.
It's tip it over.
Tip it over, yeah.
Oh, hold on.
The dominoes!
Oh, it's not recording this. Okay. To make a sound wave big enough to tip over the lighter, you need some kind of tool for that. All you gotta do is present that tool.
Crap!
Wait, are they saying the MP3?
The direct cause of the fire was... the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
Monokuma panels, there we go.
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
It's just Monokuma.
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused...
I agree with that. I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure! A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan!
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, and from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
Toppled into the second.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
The killer did one other thing to hide the domino effect. Oh boy, Oh, this.
Two-player?
I see!
Cover the sound.
Ah.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
Oh, now we hear it over the right picture.
Inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. In the darkness, a loud hymnal blared throughout the warehouse at full volume.
Hey, do you guys hear something?
Yeah, it's really damn loud.
Just got amazing hearing.
Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap?
No, I'm not talking about the music.
As if on cue, it suddenly started.
Wow.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
It's fine. I'll open it slowly.
Doing this again?
Yep.
No, that's not the problem.
Seriously, it'll be fine.
Those words, Connie brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse.
It's not opening. It's not opening? Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it.
I knew it! It's a trap! Seriously, just stop it, okay?
Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force.
What happened to opening it slowly? Connie ignored their protests and with a mighty kick, the door flew open.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
How sturdy are those panels?
I almost, you know what I thought? I thought of, like, maybe one of the panels was wedged under the handle on the other side, assuming there is one. Like, you know how sometimes you might put that under the handle so it doesn't open, but I don't know.
We should have seen a broken panel if that's the case.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Oh.
Is that a problem?
How did they get out?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
That door was the only entrance to the warehouse. I see. The problem Jaffy's talking about is...
I see!
If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used. You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Huh?
You don't mean...
Monami. She tiny.
If that's true, this murder...
Hajime? What do you mean?
The person who set up the domino effect with the inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that.
Is she standing there? Oh. Oh, you can't get her.
No.
What? I have no idea now. don't know! Oh god! I don't know!
Calm down.
It's barely enough space for someone to fit through.
You look lanky.
He's too
He
big.
could have also disassembled and reassembled the door.
I don't know! Or Akane could be lying. Like, what if Akane's lying? What if it's her? She could just pretend it was hard to open the door. Could have. But the only other tiny person is Fuyuhiko.
Tiny Nagito, isn't it?
Oh, it could be Nagito too. Can we actually? Yes, we can target dead people.
Yes, we can.
This is my answer.
Good job, James.
Wow, thanks,
What
James.
if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember?
Except for one hand. I don't know.
But how did he skewer that one hand?
He could just put it. It's the one hand that is moving.
No, his other hand was tied up. That was like firmly done up.
No. I'm saying the one hand that actually can move is the one that's stabbed, right? Think of it less of the knife going in like this, and more of the knife, more of your hand moving your hand onto the knife itself.
Okay. It would be quite the balancing act to get the knife to stand up straight like that.
Maybe it wasn't standing up straight. Maybe there's another way to do it.
Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Which would be the illusion he's going for with the burnt rope.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss?
Yep.
That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
He's got one arm free.
Like he said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something.
Now I can see it unfolding. Yes, his arm is free. He uses. Yeah, I see it now. I see
I
it.
just want to make sure that this says what I need it to say. Right arm burned off. Okay.
It's still
and
clean.
he sets the fire to cover that up, but his clothes are fine.
He totally did it, and he did all of it too. Holy crap!
That's obviously impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
No, it's not. I've done it.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
You could do something though.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth?
Yep, that's actually a good way to do
You
it.
use your front tail.
No, not the tail.
Dirty
Does not
joke!
work that
Is that
way.
a dirty joke?
I've tied one of my arms with my other arm and my teeth, actually. You can do that.
And now, now YouTube will forever wonder why.
To actually tie up your own arm. No, that's wrong.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Proof that the burnt rope on Nagito's right arm is a trap.
His sleeve.
I see!
Take a close look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Kane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
Oh my gosh!
That's definitely wrong.
That's called prostitution.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
What? What?
You're Japanese.
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
Doesn't matter.
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand.
No, you can do that.
Much is obvious.
You just have to hold it and then go like that. Turn it like, go like that.
Give me back that Benjamin.
Simple. Give me that Benjamin.
Because no one can see Lith's hand movements, basically, if you imagine setting up the knife on a flat surface with the tip pointing upwards, and then you bring your hand down on that, that's how you could get the knife in.
Or if you can't do that, you just squirm your hand, you know, like hold basically hold the blade with your actual hand, and then maneuver your hand up, then press down. Because
hold it by the blade tip.
Yeah, hold it by the blade tip and press down. Basically, hold the knife the way your parents tell you not to. Tell you not to.
Anyways, you know what? I'm so confused now.
Just hold it in your mouth too.
Unless you're Zoro, I find it very difficult for you to drive enough force for that to go through. There are a handful of problems with this now I'm thinking of it. First of all, if you're holding it in your mouth and you jam your hand onto it, you're going to break teeth and make bruises inside your mouth, which we saw none of.
It's much more simpler if you're just holding the blade with the actual hand you're going to injure.
Against the ground, head turned, hold it steady in your mouth and bang your hand into it. It goes against the floor in your mouth. Okay, I see. So it's pointed up like we described, and you're holding the hilt with your mouth.
I'm thinking of using basically the solid floor as the strength behind it. You're just jamming your hand down onto it. Like if you actually.
But there is the tape issue. With tape, he can't use his mouth at all because he would have had to do that first. If he stabbed his hand and then put on the tape, there's no way that tape would be clean.
Yeah, so he just pushed his hand onto it because now this is really hard for me to say because I have a hard time dealing with hand torture, but if I can get into it, the ligaments and the bones in your hand, you know, there is space to move a blade right through them. It's not as difficult to force a knife through your hand than you think it is.
God! No transfer of funds has been initiated, and also, my Benjamin was going to you. Keep up.
Oh, gosh, I don't want to think about it. Oh.
Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants the money back. What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
I'm already down $1.5 million. Just stab yourself in your right hand using only your right hand.
You're making me think of it, aren't you, game? Oh,
it's okay.
Fuck you.
I an answer for this. As long as I don't have to see it, I'm fine. And even if they showed it to me here, I doubt it'd be realistic enough. What we're going to be... Oh, blood on girder.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Yes.
And slammed his right hand down on it?
Yes.
Propped
The
it
floor.
onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
No.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
Okay, so what do we have for prop up?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free,
Oh.
how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that. The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
You asked about the knife. It's a fairly standard combat knife. I don't think we get a picture of it in full, but we do see it in the hand. So that's why that looks like. It doesn't look like it's anywhere else.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
And just throws that thing away, probably wanting it to get burned up. It didn't work out so well for him.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
Now... maybe.
Yeah.
So, what I'm thinking here is you loop that cord over the girder.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's fair. And then it drops the spear when he lets go. Thing is, that blood then has to come from the arm. It can't be from the spear splatter, which actually it doesn't look like it goes that far anyways. So somehow he got blood all over that thing, except for the part he was holding onto. He let go, and then as it... I would still argue that that thing should have swayed a bit, but I think that's just basically rope burn on the girder, that whole blood stain.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
There is a limit to his constitution.
I don't know about that, but okay.
If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Cue Kazuichi.
Yep. Check him out. He did not disappoint.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
So,
I get what you're getting at here, Kazuichi, but do remember that there is death tied to the end of this.
yes, I'm sorry. So no fun for you, Kazuichi.
Oh, that might be one of his kinks. To what extent, I don't know. Maybe just the roleplay.
Say it one more time. I need to repeat. For reasons.
For reasons.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out.
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that.
I can't disagree that
To
suicide
think that
is
one of
possible,
us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
but this seems way too easy. Not to be too meta or anything.
I'm sorry. I think it's him.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
Monome's sassing me.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer. But suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Huh?
I feel that there's...
What kind of way?
There you go.
I feel there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
I don't know.
I do.
We do!
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself.
Come on!
So
Give
let's
yourself
think
more
about it
credit.
Together. That's how we made it this far up till now.
Everyone working together.
She's right. Made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. And even now...
Alright, let's do this.
Blood on the...
Yeah.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Wait, hold on, there's something else.
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail.
Again.
I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
Oh my gosh!
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
Okay, what do we have to choose from again? It's his right hand that stabbed, so we were talking about his left hand.
Nagito committed suicide. He must have used that spear to stab himself. Even if his arms and legs were tied up, no doubt he used some part of his body. The only thing he could have used is...
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, that's wrong!
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. don't you think it looked somewhat strange? He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain, but it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
How are you showing this to people? Let's just not imagine that there's a Nagito corpse in the middle of the courtroom. Someone had a camera.
Yeah.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm, and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
What was Nagito's left hand doing when the blood
Gripping.
splattered?
Gripping.
I see!
When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm, and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Ugh!
Damn it.
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear!
Not much better.
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right. That's the problem.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think?
Why? Come on, Chiaki. Why are you not helping us?
Don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV.
Please do not strike my waifu.
Got it. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
The end.
What section of the spear was he holding on to?
I see!
That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki? I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
Nagito was gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. From there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear?
Jumping.
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
That's a long plan name.
One step at a time. What does that mean?
Seriously?
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Nagito was facing up. The spear was stabbed through his stomach. If it's just before that... That's it. Could it be? State of the spear. The fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment. If I put those together and think about it, I should be able to figure out where the spear was, what state it was in before it stabbed Nagito. Now we're doing some VR.
A logic dive? Okay.
I need to remember how to jump though. Move mouse. We can also do left and right. Why are you giving me mouse controls? Okay, got it. There's a spear above Nagito.
Above, yeah.
Oh, that's it.
What is that? Not your friend. Oh, jeez. Hey! Watch out for these things. Wow! They are mean. Oh! Trying to eat up your time.
What was above?
The girder.
Ceiling girder. Also sprinklers.
Mhm.
Actually, no, not in his area. At least they didn't go off when the fire was happening. Wish I would have some words about that if they weren't there. Item connects them. Spear's cord.
Spear's cord, yeah.
So yellow.
It's all coming together. The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
Now, here's one thing that they're not thinking through. What if the suicide's all a setup? I mean, like, just for instance, say you make a stomach wound straight off the bat, and then you start setting him up with all these obvious cues. You start doing a little bit of torture to get some blood flowing where you need it to, and then you just leave him there.
But wouldn't he have died earlier then? This is all about timing, too.
Well, first of all, do you trust Monokuma?
I do not trust Monokuma. I trust Nagito's craziness.
Well, we'll find out.
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Wow. This is for real? He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear?
Yep.
That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Yes, you wouldn't have to do the leg wounds tied up like that.
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
Is that messed up?
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed.
No, that's not how it works. Now, he could totally have set this up to be challenging so that you would overcome despair to arrive at ultimate hope. Yes.
Yes.
He's not doing it to get you all executed. I mean, introducing the possibility so that your success is that much more.
Yeah. He even kind of foreshadowed this last time. Talking about what types of deaths happened in the last game.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
I do agree. Stabbing yourself and all that with a spear in your hand like that, there are a lot of instances where he could have just let go and things would be half done.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think he's just really that determined.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
Jeez. I was starting to feel a little sympathetic toward him. How stupid of me. I completely underestimated his capacity for malice. Oh, he's got bloody eyes. Oof. Boggling malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form his malice took. I'd forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
What? How?
So why did he not just do that in the first place?
By having us all executed.
If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other. It tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. Bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination.
Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is? Or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
Yeah, it's definitely not the answer if he's giving us a chance like that.
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You are right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh?
I think it's a suicide, but his motivation may not be what we think it is.
That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
It's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
He's too happy.
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
Down fake door like the last trial in the first game? I don't know if there is such a thing.
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
Huh?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is?
Maybe
What
the
kind of
suicide
mystery
will
is left?
reveal who the traitor is.
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death. It's something that even he couldn't have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? Here I thought we were finally finished.
Something related to Nagito's death. Piece of evidence. Even he couldn't mess with.
Are they talking about a piece of evidence at the location that he couldn't have messed with?
I don't know what they're getting at here.
Something that he couldn't have touched. Was the music playing the entire time?
I'll try it.
I don't know. Let's see. The music was blaring throughout the warehouse when Hajime and the others arrived. It was coming from this. No. We'll go back to it for a second. The time on me was apparently peaking at the whole thing. Okay. Eek. Something.
Crap!
Okay. I mean, I just gotta start guessing at this point.
I have no
Actually, hold
idea.
on. I got time. Cheating. Okay,
Sharp stairs, multiple stab wounds on each thing.
Stab wounds, all self-inflicted. Oh, okay.
Right hand.
There's a laceration on his left arm and a knife. That's all done.
Okay, tear by near pillars, trying to removing thighs. Okay, he did that too. Nope, time no test still clean. He did that too. Sterilize the stab knife by hand. The knife is familiar device. It's safe to assume the wounds on his left were caused by the knife. That too. Most blooded on the palm knife for some reason. The splatter cuts off some movement. Trying to figure. No. Okay. What else? Okay. No. It's fine. Wait, is the lighter a separate thing?
Well, there is one thing I want to try, and that's the duct tape here. Depending on how constitutional I'm going to go with Nagito is, like, he knows what he's doing getting into that. So that does not stop these injuries from hurting, so I can definitely understand why it would be there. But you could also ask, well, actually, no, more than that, his facial expression.
Yeah, why does he look horrified all of a sudden?
Also, desperately moving his mouth underneath it is not the same as what we had there.
His
Do
expression.
we have anything that references his face?
What about the lighter? Hang on, the lighter. Yeah, cord. No.
There's nothing really there.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was laid up.
That's what I'm saying about that, but even more out there is the look of horror on his face.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ways that could make that happen, but... Monami can't
Wait.
write.
Monami wasn't writing this notebook.
Okay.
Nagito was.
Okay. Weird.
And he generally had positive things going on.
Uh-huh.
And that's an unsolved mystery.
Yeah.
So is the poison.
Mm-hmm. So it's either his face or the notebook.
I think the face is stronger, though it's a little hard to really convince that. We'll try tape first, then notebook, then MP3 player?
I don't know.
Oh, that even he couldn't mess with. Oh, we got our timer back. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
We could totally mess with that diary.
Crap!
Nope.
Oh, okay, so it is the diary.
I'm not sure now, but we'll try it.
Crap!
Damn it! What is it? Oh!
How did Nagito know that Monami stopped Hajime from entering the dead room? He could have just witnessed it.
The poison? No.
Some evidence that even he couldn't mess with.
The file? Something even he couldn't mess with.
We tried the diary.
Mm-mm.
We tried the school file, I think.
No, we didn't.
I thought that was the first thing I tried.
Oh, okay. No, didn't we do
Crap!
Damn it!
One shot. One opportunity.
I don't know.
No, I tried the student file.
Okay.
Spear stabbed in the stomach. There are multiple stab wounds on each of us.
I guess it... Did we do the Hope's Peak Academy thing?
Yes.
We did?
That was the first one I tried.
Okay. Shit, I have no idea. Ah!
I see!
What was it?
It was the Monokuma file.
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Seriously?
He sees, I don't yet. Is
Okay.
it about how it's vague?
I don't know. Let's take a look.
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
Victim is Nagito Kamaida. Body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. Estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. That's all consistent.
Mm-hmm.
The suspicious part of the Monokuma file that Chiaki is worried about is... What is it? It's hidden in the Monokuma file. We're gonna find out next time, because that sounds like it's Hangman's Gambit.
Yeah. Could be time of death.
Maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
It doesn't make sense, but there's no reason, from what we've been assuming, that it can't be.
Ah! Ah!
Anyways, thanks everyone for coming out. Plot thickens.
All right.
Till next time.
Till next
Take
time.
care.